Okay, so today I was about this close to upgrading. Best Buy had a really good offer on the Sony a7 III as well as the Fuji X-T3. Both are about $300 off, and they both came with the kit lens, so it's a great starting lens for both, although I think the Fuji is a bit superior as opposed to the kit lens that comes with the Sony a7 III, but either way, it's a good starting block into the full frame ecosystem for the a7 III, as well as a pretty good lens in general for this Fuji X-T3. But anyways, I was about this close to buying one of the two, just straight up getting one. I was thinking about the a7 III because the Fuji X-T3 went out of stock so fast, I didn't even have a chance to look at it, but I didn't upgrade, even though they were on sale, and those two cameras, sometimes they go on sale and sometimes they don't, but there's not usually that much off. So I was really very close to upgrading, but I didn't. And there's one really big reason for this. So currently I am shooting on the Sony a6500, enter B-roll, and basically I'm liking this camera. And from what I have heard, from all the research I've done, which I can assure you is a lot of research, the a7 III is basically the big brother to the a6500, and the a6500 is just like a mini a7 III. It doesn't have the full frame sensor, it doesn't have the bigger battery, it doesn't have quite as good autofocus, but in general, everything is very similar. You're still shooting 4K 100 megabits per second, 6K downsampled to 4K. All of that jazz is the same on the a6500, just with a smaller sensor. And to compare the two, for photos, it's a larger difference. For video, in low light, yes, in extreme cases, it's very noticeable, but for the general user, the difference isn't worth twice the price. And I know that some people are really going to disagree with me on that, but that is my opinion. I really strongly feel that way right now. For the price of the Sony a7 III, $2,700 Canadian plus taxes, $2,000 in the US. Here, I got the a6500 for $1,000, so less than half the price of the Sony a7 III. I'm shooting the same quality of video at 4K 24 and 30 frames per second. I'm still shooting 24 megapixel photos. Yes, the sensor is only a 1.5 times crop versus full frame on the Sony a7 III. Yes, the battery doesn't last as long. Yes, there aren't two card slots. Is it worth that extra money? Like, yes, when you're paying the extra price, you are getting more. You're getting a full frame, amazing backside illuminated sensor. You're getting full frame 4K video. You're getting 120 frames per second slow motion with audio and autofocus. Speaking of that, amazing autofocus, 10 frames per second shooting in full frame. You're getting an amazing camera with all these extra features. But you have to ask yourself, is it worth double the price? And look at the way that things have gone in the past. We went from 1080p video to 1080p 60 to 4K, and now we're into the range of 4K 60, H.265 video, all these new features, 10-bit, all these amazing new features are slowly but surely coming into the camera market for general users without paying tens of thousands of dollars. But they're not to full frame yet. I'm thinking the Sony a7S III is probably the next one that's going to feature all this stuff. But the Sony a7 III, if you buy it now, you're not going to have those things down the line. You're going to have to upgrade again if you want those nice novelties that are on the only crop sensor camera that I can think of at the moment, the X-T3. And this brings me to my point, and the whole reason that I am waiting on upgrading is because there is no camera that is the best of both worlds right now. There's no camera other than the new Panasonics that came out that are way out of my price range. I'm trying to not look at them, but really at this point, for lower price models in comparison to the X-T3, the a6500, and the a7 Mark III, there is no camera that has in-body image stabilization, 4K 60p, 10-bit, and a full frame sensor. That's kind of an extra, but either way, there is no camera that can satisfy all your needs. You're gonna have to either go for the route of the X-T3, get those amazing, awesome video features, 10-bit, 4K 60, new codecs, all that great stuff. You miss out on full frame and you miss out on IBIS, and those are two big hits that I cannot take at this moment. I'm willing to part with full frame so long as I have IBIS and those awesome video features. On the other hand, I'm willing to part with IBIS if it's a full frame sensor. But right now there is nothing. You are compromising way too much at this point for the amount that you have to spend, and that is why I'm waiting. That is why I have waited all this time, and I almost got tempted with these sales, but I made this video to help anybody else who's going through the same struggle, because upgrading is always so much fun. It's so exhilarating, it's just awesome, and then you have a big hole in your bank account and you have to know what you're getting. You don't want to make a mistake or regret buying what you buy, and that's why I'm making this. That's why I am waiting for the Sony a7000, the mystical camera. Something has to come out. Will it be the Sony a7000 that I get? Who knows? But what I'm looking for is something with these new video features and IBIS and or a full frame variant. Yes, the new Panasonic cameras came out with this, but they are very expensive in comparison to most, and they're coming into a new lens lineup. There's a lot of variables there. I would rather buy something like a Sony that already has all these lenses, a Canon, something like that. We need something that is affordable and features the new video features, 4K 60, 10-bit, H.265, all these great features, as well as IBIS and or a full frame option for a reasonable price. Hence why I'm thinking about the A7S III as well as the A6500. I can make the compromise on full frame if I get those awesome video features along with some IBIS, so that I don't have to spend a ton on stabilized lenses. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's just me kind of going on about my thinking behind why I didn't upgrade today. And before I get over this video, I just want to talk to you guys about one serious thing, because upgrading seems to be a huge thing that people think about. But you really have to ask yourself, do you need to upgrade? What is it that you need? Is your content going to be that much better by spending more money and upgrading? Say you're on some really old camera, I can understand that completely, but these days there haven't been major gains in any cameras across the line for quite a while now. Everything you're probably shooting 4K. If you're not, maybe that's the upgrade you're going for, and I understand that completely. But if you have a 4K camera, you have a camera with either an APS-C or even Micro Four Thirds sensor, or especially a full frame, what is it that you want to upgrade to? What is it that you need? Yes, there's nice novelties like I mentioned, dual card slots. Maybe you're a wedding photographer and you need that. Hence, maybe you should upgrade. But if it's something like a faulty screen, maybe your screen isn't good like on the A6500, maybe you should buy an external monitor. It's probably going to come out cheaper than a new camera, and then you have an extra piece of gear that can be used when you actually do need to upgrade down the line. I know I'm just ranting in this video, but I just can't get over how many people upgrade without real need to do so, without a real need to upgrade. You just need to know what is it, because by upgrading your gear, that's not going to be what's going to make your content better. It may look a bit cleaner, but the real thing that's going to make your videos and photos better is the person behind the camera. And I know that's cheesy, it sounds like something off of and it's vaguely familiar off of Fast and the Furious, but it's true. You can throw an expensive camera in anyone's hand, and if they aren't experienced, they will not do a good job. But if you throw a crappy camera in a pro's hand, they're gonna do a kick-ass job with what they have, just like we all should, and we all will, as long as we keep our heads straight and we don't just splurge and upgrade just because everything is so appealing, because it is. But you need to keep your head straight, and you need to know what it is that what makes you want to upgrade. For me, those 4K 60, 10-bit, and the possibility of full frame combined with a camera with IBIS is what I would want to upgrade to, as those appeal to me. 4K slow motion video is something that I would use a tremendous amount with, especially for weddings, as well as other events that I am shooting. Just to get that amazing dreamy look, as well as just an improved sensor, but those are for in the future. I'm not just splurging on something new. I'm waiting for something. I have something in mind, and I know what I want. I know what's going to help me make better content. If you've reached the limits of your equipment, heck, upgrade. It's going to be worth it. But if you have not reached the absolute limits of the equipment that you are using, and you think upgrading is going to make you a better photographer or videographer, you may want to rethink that. So thank you guys for watching. I will talk to you in my next video. I am going to be going over an update to the Sony Play Memories Home app because it's pretty darn cool. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, or even hitting that bell notification so you get notified when I put new videos up. I'm trying to stay on a schedule every other day, but it can be hard. You guys keep me motivated down there in the comments below. If you have any video ideas, let me know. Thank you for watching. Don't you upgrade if you don't need to. Keep that in mind. Those are my words of wisdom. Don't upgrade if you don't need to. Take care, everyone. Bye.